Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It has been a minute, but I'm back, and today I want to talk about the Initial D mock again, specifically my ESSA gas station mock that I made to go along with this diorama. I was honestly surprised about the amount of times I get asked about this gas station. A lot of people want to know where I got it or how I made it, and when I tell them that it's a mock, a lot of people then automatically assume that I would have instructions for it on Rebirthable or something like that. Unfortunately, I do not. When I was first kind of crafting this whole display, I really didn't think it would receive the attention that it did online. It was just something kind of fun I was doing for myself. And so when I started building the gas station, I just looked at some photos online and just started building as I went, not thinking that this would be something that somebody else would want to copy or emulate in any way. And so I didn't really have the forethought to try and practice how to make instructions while I was building this. And I really don't want to tear it apart to dissect how the building steps would go to then maybe try and sell instructions. So as disappointing as that may be for a lot of you out there, I think I have a solution if you are trying to build your own Initial D cityscape that will either allow you to have something similar, or maybe you can modify in your own way to make something even better than this. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the official licensed Shell service station from CaDa Bricks. And if I was going to start trying to make my own Initial D gas station, this is somewhere I think I would start, because it has a lot of the core elements that I would need to recreate the ESSA station with minor modifications. So right off the bat, you can see that you are getting a lot of really cool elements that you could add into your own gas station mock. You're going to get some pumps. You're going to get the canopy that you would need. You're going to get a convenience store that you could kind of modify the layout inside. You will have a USB lighting kit that will come with it. So if you're looking to light up your structure, that'll save you some money off the bat. One of the disappointing things I noticed is they don't light the canopy up like I've taken the time to do over on this mock. But with a few modifications, I think, because you're going to be modifying most of the canopy anyway, they use a Technic style to create the actual structure itself. So there's plenty of room in there to snake LED wires and hide them in a convincing manner. Plus, the top of the canopy is pretty simple in construction, and you have a ton of room to snake wires all the way around and hide them really cleanly without anybody being able to see them. So you can snake the wire up, run it through, and then kind of run it through the top here, spider it this way and that, and then you'll be able to light up the canopy pretty easy. One of the things that would be a slight challenge if you purchase this kit is that everything that's Shell branded or written on is in fact a printed tile, which is, if you're just looking for to add a gas station to a regular Lego city, that's a great option. You don't have to mess with stickers. It's going to last a whole lot longer than a traditional sticker. You don't have to worry about peeling and any of that kind of stuff, and everything's going to be on there nice and straight. But if you're looking to modify this into the ESSA station, you're going to have to find some blank tiles where you can create your own decals. And the nice thing is you could utilize a lot of these tiles and make the advertisements and stuff like that work for a mock. So it's not a complete wash. You would just have to replace certain things with the Shell branding if you would so choose to. Another thing you would have to modify off the bat to get this to be a little more Initial D accurate, especially if you're running 8 wide Speed Champion scale cars, is you're going to have to widen the canopy, both probably on top for scale and the distance between the pumps. So I think CaDa designed this with this scale Initial D car in mind. It's kind of their 6 wide variant. Fits nice onto the display and length and width wise, but if you get an actual 8 wide scale car, it's not going to be able to fit between the 2 gas pumps, but it doesn't hardly fit lengthwise. But the nice thing is they offer a variant of this Canopy and a variant of the convenience store separately. So let me post images of those two real quick. So you can see this pump variation here. It's a little bit smaller, but it's also a little bit more minifigure scale, and I'll show you why that is in here in just a sec. And then if you look at this convenience store they offer, it's basically the same thing you would get with the larger kit. There are a few different details, but for the most part, it's the same. So back to this one. When I say minifigure scale on the pumps, you can see that put a minifigure in the display. It's a little bit tall, or at least it appears that way. You got the nozzles up here, so if somebody's going to be reaching, obviously it's not to scale for this. But I think if you were to modify this and bring the pump nozzles down and then maybe take a brick height or two, I think you could make this work. Either convenience store you choose is going to be properly scaled for minifigures, so that's just going to come down to modifying graphics. The car wash is kind of a take it or leave it for me. I know they do offer this separately, but it's not scaled for either this scale car. It's definitely not scaled for an 8 wide scale car. So in either or situation, I would probably just use this to as extra pieces to create a garage structure that's next to the actual convenience store part. And then if I was going to actually be doing a lot of mock building, I would maybe consider not choosing this kit and going with two of the individual pump kits. Give you enough pieces to expand your canopy to whatever size you'd need. The gas pumps are already at a lower height, so you could kind of tinker with those a bit. And instead of printed elements on both the individual convenience store or the individual canopy, they don't have printed elements. They're going to be stickers, so you're already going to have blank spaces to create your own custom graphics to make an ESSA station. And then by buying two of the standalone canopy kits and one of the convenience store, you're still going to be about $10 ahead of versus if you would buy this kit all together. So depending on what your goal is for your diorama, like I said, if you're just trying to add a gas station into your existing Lego city, I would probably go with this one and modify it because you're getting all of these elements up front, plus really high quality printed pieces. If you're trying to modify to make the ESSA station, I would probably go with the a la carte options, save yourself some money, and get some extra pieces that you could throw into your build as you would need it. So I wanted to throw in a little quick side-by-side comparison. It's a little hard to actually put these right in the display, so I'm kind of having to prop it up, but you can see where with a little bit of imagination and a little modification, you could really create a really cool mock on your own, and just utilizing some of the great pieces that already come in this kit. And to be honest, it's going to save you a ton of money versus doing something where you have to purchase individual bricks like this. Like I said, you're getting a lot of good elements for a low price point. So one of the things that a lot of mock builders run into is we need specific parts for our builds, and having to source those individually, either through like something like WeBrick or Bricklink, it gets really expensive really quick, especially when you have to go through multiple vendors. I think like to create something like this, ordering the individual pieces on Bricklink, you're going to be in the $300 to $400 range. And with either option of doing like the a la carte models of the shell or buying this kit and modifying it with a few extra pieces here and there, I definitely say you could get an equivalent ESSA station of your own for 150, 170 tops. So literally about half the cost. And even if you just chose to leave it shell branded and put it into whatever cityscape you want to, I think it's going to look really attractive and be a nice standout feature, especially if you're trying to do an automotive themed Lego build of your own. So I'll go ahead and post the link to these sets in the description below. So if you want to check one out for yourself, you'll have the ability to. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and throw it down in the comments, and hopefully I will be able to answer those for you. And if you have any questions about any of the other Initial D stuff, obviously I'm more than happy to try and point you in the right direction or get your questions answered the best I can. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video off. Hopefully that is giving you a step in the right direction, giving you plenty of inspiration. So until next time, happy building, everybody.